Okay.
Hi, Blue.
Hello, Mr. Butler. I'm here with Christopher Butler today. And for those of you that don't know who Christopher Butler is, you might not know the name, but I guarantee you know his music. I guarantee it. It's in popular culture. It's all over the place. I can't describe how many times I've heard his music. And what's the most recent one? I think Bob's Hamburger. I noticed it.
Yeah,
it's in the closing credits. It's all through that. But anyways, he's more than just a musician. He's a lot more. And I'm here at his new studio at an undisclosed location. I'm not sure if we're going to tell you where it's at, but he's in Kenmore now. I will tell you that. He was in Akron before.
That we could say.
So, how you been?
I've been okay, but with reservations. I'm a geezer. I have geezer issues. I have started playing drums again like I did at high school and loved it about a year ago. Gosh, almost. Yeah, a year and a half now. I got rotator cuff issues that I had to quit. This fabulous band. I was having so much fun. You know, I get behind the drums and I'm 15 years old and I'm having a wonderful, fabulous time. And I had to go through all kinds of, surgery and rehab and all this stuff. And the operation was not very successful. So I had to do all this workaround because I had the opportunity to play drums with my friends Long Tall Deb and Colin John this summer 2025 in July in the UK. And I'll be damned if I was going to not do that. So I did extra exercises and weightlifting and got myself, reasonably together and did the tour, which was just the best, and had a great time. So I'm back, but with reservations, so.
And can you take that little string you got there and move it over the microphone? Ah, perfect. There you go. Yep, just lay that. Yep, perfect. Just in case it was rattling, but I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, that microphone is great how it picks up. So, you were there for how long?
We were there July, 10 days. We did.
10 days.
We started, left Akron for Chicago, did a show, flew to London, then Colin rented a car and drove us the meandering, wonderful way through Western England to the southern area called Dorset. And we did 2 pub shows. One pub show and a theater in Penzance, as in Pirates of Penzance, way on the tip, Land's End. And then we played a festival near the town of Sherborne, which was absolutely fabulous. It was a kind of a charity festival put on by the incredible boogie-woogie piano player Ben Waters, who has a farm, and he does this, I think he's been doing this like 3 or 4 years. It's 250 tickets, but a ticket could go for an entire family. It's 3 days, pro sound, pro lights, and a 24-hour open bar. You put English people together with a 24-hour open bar, it's a party. It was so great. All the acts were blues or rockabilly, kind of rootsy. It's funny to say Americana, but in England, and they all were great. The great New Orleans piano player John Cleary was there with his band. It's just sensational. We got to perform twice. We got over, we killed. People loved us, we loved them. It was so wonderful. I literally cried when it was over. I did not want to leave. It was like leaving summer camp, You're going to be here next year, right? Really, come on. You got to come back. You got to come back. It was just great. I think it was the best all-around musical experience doing what I wanted to do, which is play drums in Europe, ever. Just the best.
So, I guess one of the questions I have, you've been over out of our country now into another country, what's their thoughts about what's going on here? Do they have any opinions, we'll say?
There isn't a single person. I don't know if I can cuss here.
Oh, feel free, yes.
Okay. All right. There wasn't a single person I talked to that looked at me and said, what the are you doing? Have you lost your minds? And all, and I am not a supporter of the current administration, to put it lightly. And I would literally stammer because I don't know how 79 million people could want a fascist takeover of their democratic country, because that's what's happening, and they see it, and they have their own issues, and they've had their brush with fascism. Oswald Mosley in the 40s, in the 30s and 40s, and super, right-wing branches of the Tories and all of this. But compared to what we're going through, there is no comparison, and it's horrible, it's terrible, and it's embarrassing and humiliating, and shame on all of you people for wanting this. Shame on you for kowtowing to this indescribable authoritarian creep. Shame on you.
And Europe remembers. I mean, they remember this. They've been bombed. England's been bombed. They know this.
I mean, you go to London, and there are still places that have not been rebuilt. The war is still there. And if you go to Europe, continental Europe, the war is still there. And, they remember exactly. And they see it happening here, and they think we're out of our minds. We're out of our minds.
And regardless of what you think by watching this, if you don't agree with this, I mean, as to date, right now, the man said he wants to be a dictator and mentioning dictator 3 times in the past 2 days.
Yes. And he told you what he was going to do. And shame on the Democratic Party. They had 4 years to get their act together. To groom people, to groom a viable candidate. Not that she wasn't viable, but it was kind of a quick decision.
You got to give somebody more time. You can't just throw someone into the pot like that.
You blew it, folks. So
most certainly.
You're not exactly, your hands aren't clean with that either.
So that's a problem where I'm stuck today a lot. I don't get into my politics too much, but I don't like either party all that much. I mean, there's a few people on both sides, because there's a few Republicans and a few Democrats that are saying some stuff, but there's not many.
And Biden got no credit for all the good stuff that he did that was progressive, from infrastructure to having funds allocated for special programs and all that good progressive stuff he was able to get done, and now it's all being rolled back, and y'all got to pay the price for that.
I mean, PBS got cut.
PBS, NPR, shame on you.
Anybody that plays a negative opinion in any ways, or just doing journalism, not negative, just, hey, we're going to tell you a true story. You put the facts out there. We don't like it. You didn't show me in a good light.
Yeah, it's, and now he's got a paramilitary group that he's grooming. Here come the SA, Hitler, the SS, and the SA. The SA were the knee breakers, and they were the louts, and they were the LCD, lowest common denominator, and of course all the patriots that on January 4th that invaded the Capitol. They're such good people.
Now they're in his administration.
It's terrible. It's horrible. And here I am, trying to play some music, trying to do some socially conscious things, and I am feeling the lack of power that the art forms have, and that's sad as well, because either we're going to have an explosion of neo-Dadaism, in reaction to this, or it's just going to bad news, bad times.
I mean, I can only hope for a lot of change. I don't know really what to do at this moment. I'm seeing some leadership step up here and there, which is nice.
I have to do a segue into my last project, which is recording an album, co-producing with Long Tall Devin, Colin, John, and they do contemporary blues, and several of the songs are in the spirit of, say, the Staple Singers, Respect Yourself. We didn't do those songs, but in the tone was self-empowerment, change, being human, doing the right things in a contemporary blues context. And the record is doing very well in the blues circuits that actually started to cross over. And it's kind of interesting because that's like a later life. I did not expect, this. I was kind of done with the music biz, not with music or playing, but with the biz. And this project, it is a really good record, but it seems to be resonating with people, not just that it's blues, but also the social consciousness aspect of some of the songs. The reviews are coming in from around the world, and they're picking up on that, including surprising places like Russia. There was a very positive review from Russia that was kind of a dissident review that glommed onto one or two of the social consciousness songs, and you could tell even in Google Translate that the writer was sympathetic and was also thinking about his or her own situation under Putin, which is treading a really fine line there, getting to be a real fine line here, right? So. You may lose your job if you're critical of the current administration. You could do a lot worse if you're critical in Russia. So it was very interesting to read that review, and then someone picked up on that on that tone of some of the songs, which also gets back to why I've done what I've done for the past 40, 50 years, because, and this is, I'm going to jump around a little bit, so it's non sequitur time. There's a new DEVO movie out, and it tells their history and how they were inspired, wrong word, forced into acknowledging the truth of de-evolution by May 4th at Kent State. I was also there and also, very, very much affected by being shot at by my own country. And if you go into the arts after an experiment like that, in the back of your mind is you want to be subversive because obviously you have a trauma and anger about that, and if you're doing something in the arts that is going to add to the subversive tone of anything that it will not just add to it, the tone will be subversive, and they are a prime example of it. And I think my stuff, in a more subtle way, was also subversive. Let's take the Waitresses. I was a man writing songs for a woman from a woman's point of view, and I was trying to incorporate what I knew and what I was learning about second wave, third wave feminism. Now people were like, "Oh, how could you do that?" Oh, and it's like, what? That's what's going on in my environment. And Shakespeare didn't, wrote a lot of female characters, and what's the big deal? People write screenplays and plays or whatever, for a genre other than themselves. Big deal. But if you dissect some of the Waitresses songs, it was definitely my attempt to be quietly subversive in my own way.
And where can we send people to buy albums? Or CDs? Is there a place for the most recent one?
Yeah. Okay, the record, Colin and Deb's record, is called Light It Up. The label is Vizztone, Vizztone, and it's at most CD shops. It's available online through the usual sources, Amazon and all that, wherever people buy CDs. It's also downloadable at the usual sites. So it's readily accessible, and you should get it. It's a damn good contemporary blues record.
And that's another thing I want to talk about, and you mentioned with Kent State. For people who don't realize, there were shootings at Kent State and 2 other colleges, I believe, that were kind of that. But Kent State was where the more...
Yes, Jackson State, and there was an incident before that in Ohio State.
And so for people that understand the National Guard being rolled out all over the country now, this is a big deal.
This is a huge deal.
This is normalizing something that shouldn't be normalized.
Amen. And, all it takes is one car backfire for a guardsman to, mistake it as a shot, and all hell will break loose. It is a terrible, volatile situation in America right now, and it could get really ugly really fast. And if the January 4th people get pardoned, look for the same thing for... it's just terrible. Look for the same thing for, a guardsman or an ICE agent popping off at somebody who, they didn't like the color of their color.
I thought this summer was going to be it's a bad summer. I'm not trying to downplay it, but I thought it was going to be a really, really cities blowing up type summer. But it's coming if it continues.
Yes. Okay. At this recording, it was look at the way he works. He tries a little something, pushes the envelope. Let's go to D.C. Oh, let's go to Chicago now. Oh, let's go to Baltimore. Let's go. Just seeing how far. See what he can get away with.
Coming to North Hill. What? Mark my words.
Coming to North Hill.
Coming to North Hill. That's going to be a target. I guarantee it.
Right. That's right.
North Hill people are great.
It already is. There have been ice raids in North Hill already.
So, and if seeing this, if you look back and you understand the connections, try your best to say something about it. Talk to your representatives.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can to educate people and inform people.
Mail some spine and balls to them all.
Because public opinion can change quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
They can change on a dime as long as we all get behind something. That's weird how even in nature you get a bunch of animals together. Once you get about 50, 51, 52%, they all go that way.
They all go that way. That's
so we'll get there.
Isn't that something?
The masses will change things. We got some things to work through, media and whatnot that distorts views and all. So we're living in an interesting world now. Since the last time I talked, we had computers and we had cameras and stuff, but we didn't have AI.
We didn't have
I could literally say, okay, write me a song about blah, 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 and literally, and it plays me a song, music and all. And
fake bands showing up on Spotify.
And it's I can't tell. I suppose if I was really musically inclined, I could hear tones over and over again, but as far as the voices and stuff, I can't tell that it's AI doing it. So it's not that good, but as far as the quality of it, but what's your thoughts on this?
Not that good, but, I recall reading 6 months ago something in the Times about somebody was indicted for making millions for basically, stuffing Spotify with fake bands and AI-generated songs, and then claiming authorship and having all those nano pennies because they don't pay very much. But if you get a lot of plays and you have a lot of bands up there, anyway, he was like scooping up a bunch of $1 million. He got I forget the name of the person, but he got caught. But that's only the beginning of this, because AI will get better and better. And what really is bothersome about AI, I mean, the music business is already in the toilet. The songwriters are getting paid just nano pennies from the streaming services like Spotify and Pandora. They are the devil. They're just awful. Well, AI is now scooping up copyrighted material, whether it's photographs or music, and without attribution, without paying it. That's how AI works. AI doesn't invent anything. It scoops up. So they're busting. By its nature, by its programming, it busts copyrights, and that means the rule of law, the rule of copyright law is broken down, as well as every other rule of law. But rule of copyright is broken down. So you're out of anybody who's created something that should get paid for it is not getting paid for it, and whatever their work is, it's part of their work. There's no attribution. So AI is the next mode of ripping off the creator, and it's very efficient, and it's going to get better and better and worse and worse.
Yeah, it does. I mean, even in my realm, I could it's coming to the point where journalists are not going to be needed, podcasters are not going to be needed, news people are not going to be needed. No. Well, I don't know. I mean, I get some thoughts like
Hollywood actors, right? The whole thing about hologram.
I called that like in the 90s.
The recent strike, they had to work out something
because
about
you can take your image and use it forever. Use your image forever. Take your voice and redo it. And I mean, it's once you're dead, you're not dead anymore in that world.
I was watching a latecomer to Mr. Robot, and I was watching Mr. Robot, and it was 4 seasons, and I thought it was really interesting. Think about time, and also think about having time travel as a theme in some TV show. And I thought, my God, they're reusing segments to continue the story, and it sparked my interest. I have to research it about. I mean, what are the contracts like? An actor goes in, they learn their lines, they do their bit. There's a linear storyline. They get paid, whatever. But now the contract is for that kind of show, where they take bits and then repurpose it 3 or 4 times in order to continue the narrative. There has to be some kind of reuse thing, and I wonder if it's in the contract or if their agents have negotiated for this. I think that's a really interesting conundrum. I'd like to know more about that. I have to research it.
Oh, repurposed content's all over the place. And people are just stealing it left and right and using it, and it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
It's the AI scares me. It scares me because it's going to take over, pretty much a lot of jobs, and we're going to have to figure out, I don't know.
What do we do with ourselves?
Right. And is it going to be this universal basic income's coming where people get $3,000 a month, and then you got to, then how do you have desires besides, I mean, how many alcoholics are we going to create? How many drug addicts are we going to create? I got nothing to do. Let's get up, I mean, that scares me a bit because not everybody's driven to make music or make videos like I'm driven to make video and do stories and garden stuff. Not everybody's done that.
It becomes more and more a pointless enterprise, and how depressing is that?
We all grew up on Star Trek and stuff, and seeing
Star
this
Trek
world where they were living in a world where you could do things and change the world, and now we have I don't know. It's a strange world for me to get into now.
World.
Though I think I'm not trying to run away from the technology. I'm trying my best to ride it like a wave, figure something new out, figure out a way. I mean, in theory, I could be a one-man movie making thing, all just like one scene at a time, created by AI, piece it together, and it's all about the story. AI,
it's all about the story.
AI can steal from all the stories, but they can't come up with new narratives sometimes.
That's right.
Even though what was it, Othello? What game did they play? They put it on and they played the game and it came up with moves we had never even came up with in our human existence. That was like, oh wow, we didn't see it, but it did.
But it did, right?
I don't know. It would be nice if we got like in Star Wars, you got a little R2-D2 with you that help you out, a little buddy that would talk to you.
Right.
Now we get synthetic buddies that people.
Now Alex is in the house.
I don't know. We come into a world where people are lonely. They're going to get synthetic wives and stuff.
Anecdote. I had to get a new oven. Okay, shop it around. An oven, Chris. An oven. Okay, this is a pretty good oven. All right. Wait a minute. This oven won't even work unless I connect it to Wi-Fi in my house. But I'm and I have to get an app to make you can turn on remotely. Why would I want to turn an oven on remotely? But wait a minute, I have just bought in. I have just allowed data collection because all of a sudden I'm seeing ads on my little digital screen that Giant Eagle is having a sale on turkeys around Thanksgiving time. So it's actually spying on us every time we turn the oven on and what we cook. And it's trying to sell us stuff. I mean, my oven is now a part of a surveillance culture, and that's a bit much,
That's the next wave. Everything.
I have to try and jam it somehow, lie and cook something, even just to throw it away, just to send it off. It's kind of like when you like things on Facebook. Just to throw off the algorithm. You have subversive again, right? You have to be subversive.
What a lot of people don't think about all this stuff is...
My oven is ratting me out, Chris.
Not only is it ratting you out, so to speak, but it probably has malware on it, which is just software running in the background waiting.
Yes, waiting
to like one day just kick on and blow up.
3 years, 3 year warranty's over.
And who knows? This sounds like it's like a big stretch, but that's what the back door to technology is.
Yes, right.
So they can get in and do things to it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, prime example. What was the Israeli thing where they had phones?
Yes.
That the 4 years they had these phones to set it all up, and the phone just blew up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And guess what all of us have in our pockets from another country? A phone. Think about that real hard for a while.
Can
one day.
Listen in even when it's off.
That when you hear it, like one day, you hear a sound that's never made before. So I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. What's this? And everybody pulls them out. Boom.
Yes. Which can track you.
And it's tracking you.
It can track you even when it's off.
And it's off. It's following you there. So we live in a world where definitely surveillance is 24/7. And, I would like to think, it's just giving me what I want. It's working for me, but it's not. It's not. There's malicious thought behind it.
It's a common trope that people trade convenience for security and or protection for 1984 ain't got nothing on this. I just re-listened to that again. I just re-listened to that one again. That was a fun one to listen to. If you haven't re-listened to 1984, you should give it a chance. Or read. I listen. I'm better at listening than reading personally. I can do two things. I can make my brain better. But you can find it on many platforms. Right. Check it out. It's something that's, double speak. I mean, except that the government's not giving us drugs yet, but kinda. I mean, kinda. Well, they've been. They've given us drugs for a lot of times. Yes,
you look back in the 80s and cocaine and stuff. Yeah, that's all there. And I'm sure there's probably something going on now too with it. So what's your future look like?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm kind of at a crossroads. I mean, I'm not weighed down by the things that we talked about. I still want to do things. I was very, very surprised and grateful to have the Light It Up record, have a bit of a buzz and be able to play live, which seems to be alive and well in Europe. If not here, there's still plenty going on in Akron to dig into. I'm helping a wonderful local band called Funeral Proposals. We've done 2 recording sessions already over the years, and there's a third one that's in the works. They're brilliant. They're smart. They're decent guys. They're all young. I have tried to sing their praises to a few of my leftover industry contacts who will take my calls, which is wonderful. But I'm not really sure. I love playing the drums. I love playing. I was able to sit in last Saturday with the Numbers Band. I was in the Numbers Band 1970s on bass. I was their bass player couldn't make the show. It was a memorial for a lot of people's good friend Chuck Auerbach. And the Numbers Band were asked to play 3 songs. I got to sit in, which is always a joy and always a pleasure. And if you don't know 15, 60, 75, the Numbers Band, you should, because they've been going for 55 years, and they are brilliant writing, brilliant musicians, and there's nothing like them anywhere, certainly in town, if not in the world. So you got to go before 55 years. I don't know if there's going to be a 56. So anyway,
and buy tickets if you're going to go, because they sell out fast. Everywhere they play in the area, it pretty much sells out. So
yeah.
Get the tickets quickly.
Yeah. The last record, Endure, is available at the usual sources. Get it. It's fabulous. They have a lot of records over the years that didn't quite get their sound. This one does. It sounds like a live performance. It's fabulous. The right meeting of the recording technology and their performances, and the way it was just brilliant. I guess keep doing what I'm doing. I still got crazy ideas for building little art projects, and a song, we'll get an idea for a song or two. Little hope of global domination, but I'm not so sure I want that. Self-satisfaction and hopefully, hopefully doing no harm.
Now, you informed me and educated me a little bit about lamps. Now, do you have, and I see the lamp there, that one. Do you have a lamp collection, or is that the one, particularly this lamp, this red one, this is the one that you really like?
The amps? You mean
amps? The lamp with the red, the red lamps.
Oh, yes. Oh, the lamps.
Yes.
Right.
Now, do you have a lamp collection, or is that specifically?
Yeah,
okay.
I have a bunch of. I made a film about
a film, right? And when I first met you, you had talked about the lamp. Then there was a film afterwards. Which, check it out there. I'll put a list. I'll put a link to. I think it's on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, well, I can send you. I can send you a link.
Or we'll figure out somewhere we can get a link to that I can share. Hopefully,
there's a ridiculous lamp that Chris will probably insert a picture.
Yes, I'll put a picture of it so you can see it.
Right. This is the most ridiculous object from the 1950s. I maintain that it is a hugely significant piece of industrial design. And if you watch the movie, I hope I prove my case. I made a short film 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, explaining why it's important, what it means, and what's entailed about its manufacture and distribution, and how it got out of somebody's head into the culture. And it's really stupid, but it's really cool at the same time.
And I've sold since I rebuy and sell, so I found some stuff and sold it. Like that shade. It's like this atomic era, I think, is where it came from. So everything had this atomic look to it, like a cloud, and that was real popular for a while.
It's atomic age or jet age, not Sputnik. Not Sputnik. It predates Sputnik, so it's not space age.
And there's a whole, and that lampshade, that's what you don't see a lot of them. They fall apart, it's a hard, but I've seen a couple now.
It's called the ziggurat. The ziggurat shade, it's made out of the same material that old Venetian blinds, metal Venetian blinds, they just, instead of long slats, they bend it, in a square and rivet it, and it's hanging by a kind of beaded chain that you use on a lamp pole. It's a lamp pole, and it's ridiculous, but functional. It has three. It's a brilliant design. It has three functions that it serves, which I won't go into. Watch the movie.
Gotta go check it out. It is pretty neat, though. And it turned me on the different types of lamps. And it's amazing. There's a lot of lamp collectors that'll pay a pretty penny for a lamp out there. So you might have one in your house. You never know. Yeah, so you taught me about that, which I found pretty interesting. So it's been now, the show's been on for 9 years now. This will be 10th year coming up.
Bravo.
Yay! I kept it going. I was hoping to carry it over to somebody else, but unfortunately never did. But I love it. This is really what I enjoy the most in editing. It does take a lot for me to get to do it because it's a lot of work. People, just like making music, you sit down, you have an idea. It's a lot of work to go from that idea to that finished, polished piece you see. And musicians and editors and things we're similar, but I'm doing it. But it's just a lot of work behind the scenes.
A lot of work. Yeah. And hats off to you. You were spreading the good news about the Akron area and good stuff that's going on, but might be under the radar, and or giving people who may deserve some attention or some publicity. You're helping their cause as well, and that's brilliant.
Well, thank you. And thank you for sticking around here in Akron. And, you're one of our local, not celebrities, a local, what's the word? You're one of
fart.
You're one of our
old
gems.
Fart can't keep his mouth shut.
He's one of our gems in Akron. That, like I said, you know his music. You know it. You've heard it. It's out there. I was trying to think like your Christmas song, Christmas rapping. Okay. It's probably, I'm trying to think of its popularity of a song. It's up there with the Mariah Carey stuff. You're going to hear it.
She performed it.
Really?
Oh yeah, 2 or 3 Christmases ago, and Kylie Minogue.
No way.
On their Christmas special. Oh, it's on YouTube. If the official USA Christmas elf Mariah Carey does my song, I have arrived. It gets no better. But it did get better because Kylie Minogue, who is a popular singer in the UK, she's Australian, but extremely popular in other parts of the world. She did the song on her Christmas special as well. Richard Thompson, the wonderful Richard Thompson, one of my guitar heroes, did a version of Christmas rapping. He changed it. This is like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. He changed it. He set it into a Scottish reel. But Richard Thompson, melt. I love the band XTC. Their chief songwriter, Andy Partridge, is a god. 2 or 3 Christmases ago, he posted, it's not Christmas around the Partridge House until we hear Christmas rapping. I wish I'd read it. Cheeky. Andy Partridge wishes he had written my song. This genius songwriter, folks. Thank you.
And for all you nerdy people out that love cartoons, you had the Bob's Burgers people sing it in the credits, and they did their own version of it too. They had their own version of it.
Because you never know. Okay, you know what? The answer to all the depressing stuff we were talking about before? Make something, because you never know. You never know. Sometimes things take on a life of their own, and it's bizarre, amazing. It isn't just necessarily a financial payoff, but there might be that element to it. But the mere act of creating something and throwing it out there does something, and it's wonderful actually to just. And sometimes it's crickets, man. It's more crickets than it is the other occurring. But if it happens, and you can see where this thing goes, it's amazing. It is amazing, and I think that's the payoff. I still get my royalty reports, 4 times a year, and the fact that somebody in Uzbekistan, I get a nickel from Uzbekistan because somebody played I Know What Boys Like in Uzbekistan is utterly amazing to me. I mean, I ain't gonna, eat for a year on a nickel, but the fact that somebody played in Uzbekistan, I'm not even sure I could find that on the map. I think it's around, the Black Sea, but I'm not sure. There's one. I have one fan in Uzbekistan.
I don't think I have a fan in Uzbekistan.
That's gold. So, moral of the story: everything awful, everything sucks, except making stuff and throwing it out there is all there is. In the end.
There's been so many times that I want to make a video and want to say something and I don't because I'm afraid of the backlash or I'm afraid what's going to happen if I say something.
And that's a real fear. That's a real fear.
It's a real fear. You get death threats today as a media person and you say something. Well, and it's not something, but it could be something you think's funny or whatnot. You want to throw out there and
you can't laugh it off now.
And you can't laugh it off now. But I don't want to discourage somebody because no matter how crazy your idea is, get it out there because it might be big. And this is a kind of an odd thing to talk about. But Kevin Smith, the director that did Clerks and whatnot,
yes,
way before What About Mary came out, where he had semen in his hair, and it was all sticky.
Yes.
He wanted to put that in a film, and the execs told him, "No, you can't do that. No one's gonna. That's disgusting. You can't do it." And that film was huge afterwards. So don't. Go with your gut, Think about it. I'm not saying put out overly offensive things in life. Think about what you say. Think about the repercussions, but go for it. Make a statement. Say something.
Go for it. Make a statement.
We all need to. And create, whatever it may be, create what you want to create.
That's all. I mean, that's like breathing. I mean, if you have that kind of creative bent, it's like breathing. You have to do it. I was going to say compulsion, but that we're getting, Freudo-psychological. No. It's a need to do. It's a need to create something that's outside of yourself and get it out of your head and into the atmosphere. So that's also the answer. Well, what are you going to do now? Whatever my next whatever idea I get next that cracks me up. Because I got to laugh. If I have a laugh, I gotta do it. If it makes me laugh,
it grabs you.
I gotta do it. It's come hell or high water.
I love that. I have to get excited about something. I realize that my brain doesn't produce a lot of dopamine a lot, and I need to find. It's almost like being diabetic, but I have to think about it.
Bravo. Yes, there is a dopamine high involved in that, and And it's pretty damn great, and it's legal. But yeah, my brain doesn't produce that much either. But when you have that wonderful kernel of an idea, I mean, you know, a lot of spiritual. Okay, I'm not very spiritual. I'm the least spiritual person. There are a lot of musicians who say, you know, I'm just channeling. I'm channeling, my music comes from, you know, a higher power, and I'm just channeling it. And, okay, that's all very good. Maybe that's so. It doesn't seem like that to me. Or actually, I need to know that it came from me, because I need that dopamine hit. But when you get it, and something also happens in the world, that the world seems to get out of your way, and you are able to pursue the objective that you've thought of. A perfect example, and this is a long time ago, I wrote a song called The Devil Glitch. Now, The Devil Glitch was about 5 minutes long, and it's me whining and bitching about technology and how, you know, what I really want is to be able to fix everything that I have in my life that breaks. And there's a catch line in it that goes, sometimes you can fix something by this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And at the end, I structured the song where it has a kind of, it's called a breakdown, where the music's going on and it kind of stops, it settles down. And then what the idea is to have repeat something that vamps up to the big conclusion, the big end. So there are 12 different verses. Sometimes you can fix something, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good. I played it for a wonderful friend of mine, Nick Berezanski. This is easily what, I mean, I'm coming on 10 years now. I played from a fellow songwriter, great musician, wonderful guy. And I don't remember if he said it or I said it, because I had apologized. I said, God, it's kind of long, you know, maybe I should edit that out. And we both started laughing, because I think we simultaneously thought of the same thing, that no, the problem with the song is not that it's too long, it's too short. And I thought, oh, what if we could keep going on this? Because that would be funny. It would be funny. We both cracked up. So I sat down and I thought, could I write another 12 of those stanzas or choruses? Could I write 50? Could I write 500 stanzas later, over the course of like 3 months? I had quite a pile. All right, so how the hell would you record something like this? Well, at the time, you know, so here you have the core idea. It starts with a laugh, and then you begin to create the thing. Well, how can I make this? Well, at the time there was a recording format that was everywhere in the world called ADAT, Alesis Digital Audio something technology. Anyway, it was a consumer, semi-pro grade multi-track recording system on a VHS cassette tape, 8 tracks. They were everywhere. It was like it made digital available to the masses. One of these things cost about $1,200. So everybody has ADATs. Well, wait a minute. What if I record chunks of this thing and put in my different ADAT cassettes and pass it out around the world to all my friends and say, you do the backing track. You know, you come up with, or you can use my music, because maybe I'll put an acoustic guitar on there and a metronome, a click track it's called. So you can add something else, but my voice will be on there singing, you know, a chunk of these lyrics. And I'll send it out to a whole bunch of people. And, you know, you record something, we'll put it back, and we'll glue it all together. So I went to do, well, this is with the wonderful engineer who had, the long-suffering engineer, Scott Anthony, who came up with an idea how to do this. So he was working at a studio in New York, and I brought an acoustic guitar, I had the click in my ear, and I took 20 minutes of these things, and then I took a break, and then another 20 minutes, so I had, roughly an hour plus of a backing, just acoustic guitar with all these words. Then we broke it up on the cassettes and mailed it off to all my friends all around the world. Well, sure enough, they sent back, I got easily 12, out of the 20 or so, about 12 or 15 people actually followed through with this great thing, and they mailed me back the cassettes. Okay, so now I've got all these. How the hell are you going to assemble this? I couldn't put it on a multi-track tape because the reels are only 15 minutes, and I have an hour's worth of content now. Well, this was the early days of the digital audio workstation and having a computer as a recording tool. Pro Tools might have been taking off, but it wasn't popular, and there was really not enough power on home computers at the time to process an hour's worth of CD quality audio. There was one company that Scott had been working with that was developing an editing system, and they said, well, this sounds like a perfect idea, an idea beta test for our software. So the software company thought, oh, this is a great opportunity. It's a beta site. We can beta site for our program. So sure enough, we began to load all these bits in. And now the CPUs were no way. The home, the consumer grade computers, Apples and whatever, PCs, were gagging on this much data. But we were able to use this system to edit these parts together. Now, you have to, when it's all done, when it's all tied in, you have to, do a dump to a 2-track stereo of the finished thing in order to make a CD out of it. It took 3 days for this poor, whatever he was using, computer to render this thing. Okay, so we wound up with like 81, 82 minutes of music. Well, a CD could only hold 74 minutes. So somebody's got to be cut. So we had to go back in, unfortunately, edit out people to get it under that, because I had to get 69 minutes because I also wanted to have the original 5-minute song on there. But we were successful to do that. Okay, so we got that. And I was able to press a CD, and when it was done, I thought, what the hell? Maybe this is like a kind of achievement. So I contacted the folks at Guinness and said, I think I've maybe set a record here. I think this is the world's longest pop song. And they said, maybe you're right. You have to prove it, because when you apply for Guinness, you have to substantiate your claim. So I went to musicologists, and I found, everybody goes, oh, well, Alice's Restaurant, 17 minutes. This thing's, 69 minutes long. Homer's Odyssey and Iliad, they were actually sung, because the definition of a song in America is a melody with a lyric. You know, everything else is arrangement, but a song is a lyric set to a melody. Okay, does anybody remember the tune of the Iliad in ancient Greek? No. Okay. Well, okay, that's out. And there were a few other things that they said. I said, as far as I know, you know, this is it. And they said, you're right. So on my wall in my house is a plaque where I was in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1997 for the world's longest pop song. On the same page in the book that they issue every year, on the other page, the Versa, were the Spice Girls. So for selling the most records that year. So my point in all of this is we threw it out there, and a path kind of laid its way. But wait, there's one more little extra. Whatever those poor sons of bitches who got cut, along comes the internet. There's no time limit on the internet. Up goes the original song, edited back in, because now with Pro Tools, I can edit this thing in 15 minutes or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, put the original people back and put it up on a website. It's still too short. Put out a call for people. I mean, I need chunks. This has been going on now for 15 years. It's now over, 3.5 hours long. It's still too short. Somebody, please, I want more chunks. It's got to be longer. What about John Cage's thing, with the one note, for 800 years? That's not a song. What about Flaming Lips doing that 23-hour, 24-hour thing? It's not a song. They're just improvising. A song is a melody with a lyric line. What about, the endless versions of Dark Star by the Grateful Dead? No, it's not a song. It's an improvisation. Doesn't count. So, I need more chunks, people. Make up your own lyrics. Sometimes you can fix something by. You can put any kind of backing track on there you want. I don't care. One of my favorites is the guy who was reciting his lyrics. In the background is his father with an arc welder. Anyway, that's the point about throwing something out there and it finds a way.
I mean, if you think it's funny and you think it's something that you put out there, take advice. Do this. No matter, there's so many things. This is, here we are.
And you feel so alive when you're on the chase of something like this.
You can ride that thrill.
It is better than anything.
And, for people that say, oh, there's nothing in Akron, it's just so Ohio. That's what kids used to say. They say it's Ohio, and they say it's some shitty basic. So here we are. This guy is in Kenmore, right? You can do it too. I mean, you're down the street, you're a kid, maybe watching this, maybe you're our age and older, maybe you're 50, maybe you're 70, maybe you're 80. You can still have time. There's still plenty of time as long as you have the mental capabilities and the physical capabilities to touch a computer thing, if nothing else, touch your phone. On the idea of editing, I remember back at that, to get a 10 gigabyte hard drive. It was like this big, it was huge. And I could get 5 minutes on a VHS tape, and then I had to wipe it clean and start from scratch.
Right.
And that was the most I could do at one time.
Right.
And it looked horrible when it was done, because it was on VHS, If you never seen VHS, go look. It's only going to get so good on a VHS quality. I don't even show people my old VHS stuff. It looks so bad. It's like, no, you don't want to see it. The soundtrack's good.
You know what? But now it's a look. It's like 8-bit.
I might bring it out. Unfortunately,
8-bit graphics. It's
unfortunately,
like 8-bit graphics.
I did it with copyrighted music, and because we went out west, and I made this I filmed all the stuff I did, not us, just what I did, and I put music we were listening to at the time, and I just put it on VHS, and I don't think I could put it out there now because of it. Unfortunately,
you have to get clearance.
But and I don't want to change the music because it was all edited to the music, and it made it so special for us because we're listening to Zeppelin and stuff, and being out west and riding through the mountains. But yeah, I started a long time ago just putting stories out there, and you can do it too. I mean, I do this all myself. You do a lot of the stuff all yourself, and you work with other people
That's
as well.
what we're going to be meeting about, actually, is how to record by yourself. He's a really great guy and a really great drummer. So he wanted to talk about how the hell I do this.
It's trusting, for me, it's just trusting the equipment. You know, once you set up and you listen to it and you look at it, it looks good, trust it.
Yeah.
And occasionally it's going to mess up. You know, if you're doing it yourself, you're going to make mistakes. You know, you're gonna, things. But for the most part, once you get doing it, mistakes don't happen all that much. You get pretty good at it.
Yeah. It gets, and you get a routine. You get a routine in the system.
And it's never too late to start. And you get your phone. I mean, my first episode was shot on an iPhone, just for point of reference, and I did it all on an iPhone just to show I could.
That woman who shot her whole feature film.
It can all be done.
The first one, I forget what it's called. Anyway,
but it can be done. I mean, it can be done with. You don't ever have to leave your phone. I mean, these are phone at least at this point. You know, I hate talking on the phone to be honest with you. I text and I usually take photographs and video.
It's kind of like Instagram. Everybody's a filmmaker. You know.
And tap and you got to do it. That's the hard. Do it, and you'll get better.
Yeah, just do it.
And when you talked about people, like I look at it as I don't tap into a spear. I'm not. I think there's. You just got to be available for the spirit to move you, for whatever you call that, the motivation, the drive. You'll know it when you feel it. When you feel it, you'll know it. When then 3 days go by and it's like that's all you done was work on this project. You know, it's all you think about.
Or you get the idea and then you're out of the world just randomly, and things that kind of reinforce that are like
they're everywhere.
Popping up and go, oh, wait, this has legs. Okay, all right, oh, shit, more work to do. Oh, well, more work to do. You know, because, that's the other end of it, it does become not a compulsion, that's just the wrong word, is it becomes obvious that this thing now, if the universe is showing you the tools and materials and the way to make this thing, you are now obligated to create said thing, and it's usually with good results of some kind, in some way.
I couldn't agree more. Once I'm onto something, it shows me I'm on the right track.
Yes, and it is the best feeling of being alive. It's not dopamine. Maybe it is biochemical. I don't know. It's somehow bigger than that, I think.
I think it's doing what we're supposed to do. You know, it's being our maximum potential as humans.
Yes, or our best self.
We're storytellers.
This is my best self.
And in some ways, some art is storytelling. You know, and that's what we do. We're storytelling apes. Go out and tell stories.
Right.
Whether it be music or art or whatever.
This is our best self.
And you're a prime example. I mean, I couldn't think of a better example of somebody that just said, "Hey, I'm going to put something out there and see what happens. I don't care if they like it or not." You wrote a female's point of view, and you got a song out there that everybody knows. You wrote a song about Christmas that did that. We didn't talk
to the guy who didn't like Christmas.
We talked about it in our last interview. I didn't want to get into it again. He didn't like Christmas. He wrote a song that kind of helped him cope with Christmas a little bit, right? And now he likes Christmas because of the song. It's amazing how it turns things around, you know? So I couldn't agree more. You know, you're a big inspiration to me too since I met you. You know, you keep me going. You know, I'm getting older now, and I'm 52, and I know that sounds young to a lot of people.
He's a pup.
I'm a young pup, but I'm getting to that point like, am I relevant? You know, as my daughter's 16, and
you're relevant.
She's in a whole different world of media and music, and I'm learning the new stuff. And I'm trying my best and not to, but you know.
Yeah, the funeral proposal guys, they're my entree into, the 20-year-olds and mindset and what they're facing and what they're dealing and what they're listening to. They kind of need help with how they dress, but
yeah, you gotta have a uniform look. You gotta have a look to you when you present the band. I mean, you can get away with not, but it's best to make a difference.
They're getting it together.
Learn from all those awesome bands from the '70s that put on a performance and put on outfit. I mean, I'm not saying go Kiss, but they had a uniform look to them. You know, in the '60s, they look like a band, and it had a feel to it. Bring that back. You know, somebody's gonna see that, and if you're sharp sounding at the same time. you're going to stick in your memory.
Yeah. I mean, of course, yeah, you could go grunge and, you know, wear your jeans and shorts and flannel shirts. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, but in general, no, it's not all right. You look like a band. You're not, you know, I want to relate to the audience. Well, you're supposed to do that with your music. You are in a band. You are on a stage. That has power, that has symbolism, that, you know, someone is looking up at you and you are looking down at them. That is a precarious, privileged position to be in, and you are not the same. But your job, of course, is to somehow relate or not, or alienate, or piss somebody off, or whatever the job is. But you should look like a band.
A prime example. I know we've been growing. I'm going to cut this short here, and I thank everybody for listening this far. Love you for watching. Love you for listening. Thank you. But
thank you, Chris.
Ozzy Osbourne just passed away recently, and you saw him up there. He had the makeup on. He had the look. He had Black Sabbath behind him. You know, he put that on to the day, and he died there directly after.
Thank you, brother. And this is like, you know, this is sad for me because this is the Who, my all-time favorite, you know, inspiration, pulling the plug in the fall, so they say. But I kind of believe him this time. And I was just offered a ticket, you know, this Saturday for Madison Square Garden, and I'm here. I'm not there. So...
On the note of the Who, have you noticed that in the school commercials that are out now, they're playing Who Are You? But they don't use the Who Are You. They put a different lyric in it.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, whole generations, they don't even know it. I have to tell my daughter all the time, like, listen, you got to go back and listen to the original song.
Right,
and like, here's the song.
Right.
And then she's like, or I watch film. She's like, oh, I know this clip here. I'm like, how do you know this clip, not know the film? Because it's all TikTok. They just have the little chunks they know.
That stuff amazingly, that stuff holds up. It holds up for me. It holds up in concert, that's for sure. It holds up, you know, more so than, you know, Stones or, except for the early singles for Stones for me and the Kinks for me. You know, the Who stuff just, it has legs. I mean, Quadrophenia,
on that line with the Kinks, I don't know if they seem like to me, they were one of the first really hard rock sound. I listened to the other day. That guitar, that hard, way before the heavy metal supposedly came from.
Yeah,
you know, there's probably predecessors to that.
Maximum, you know, R&B. I mean, very much so.
But that sound was so powerful, so loud.
So
he just real into it.
4 guys, 1 melodic instrument, really. Mm-hmm. They make all that racket.
It's impressive. And so, you know, you see something that inspires you, go do it. So anyways, we've talked for a long time. We talked to you. We had a lot to say. Thank you so much for making time for me.
Thank you, Chris.
I hope you like this, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Even if you don't like it, tell your friends and your family because today we got to get the word out there. And thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, Blue.
All right.